together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah. It's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Hart. We'll be joined here by my brother Tim in just a little bit. But we have 4 games in the NHL. Four games in the NHL. We have 8 games in the NBA we'll be going over today. So we have a decent card that we do have to look over. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll take a look back at what happened yesterday, what went right, what went wrong in the world of sports betting. Overall, it's kind of like a meh type of day. I finished down about 0.94 units, so nothing crazy. It was just like one of those negative 1 unit days, and you move on type of thing. The NHL was kind of rough last night. If it wasn't for my late ads, it would have been absolutely terrible. As NHL goes 4-5, down 0.94 units. I ended up adding a couple plays late, which I'll go over in a second. Started off well. Flames money line was a winner. Columbus Blue Jackets team total over hits in the first period, the over 2.5 in the first period. That was a nice little winner. I did not have the Oilers only scoring 2 goals in that game because the over 6.5 loses. I actually ended up live betting the Oilers plus 2.5, which won. And I also grabbed a small piece of the money line, which it's a loss, but I mean, I still put more on the plus 2.5. So I made money on that live bet, but frustrating that we couldn't get that over 6.5 home. The Blues just looked tired last night after that their third game in 4 nights. The team total over 2.5. The money line, both losers. Devils actually looked okay. Last game was their coaching bump game. Toronto Maple Leafs plus 122. That was a bad bet. They were on a back-to-back there. They just played Boston though. It was the short-term revenge angle that just did not get the job done there. I liked the idea of the play. I didn't hate the play in general, but the result was not there for it. Arizona Coyotes were a loser. They lose 5-2 in that game. But one of my late ads was the over 6 at minus 135, which was a winner there. It finishes 5-2 Minnesota. Definitely did not have Minnesota scoring 5 goals in that game, but hey, you take your wins the way you can. And I ended up adding Nashville minus 102. Overall, not a great day in the NHL. College basketball went 4-4-1, up 0.28 units. With that, Colgate minus 18, they win by 17. So that was a loss by a point. You're going to notice a trend with that with my losers yesterday. Actually, no, never mind. Irvine was not that close. It was like, I think a 12-point. Well, it was a 14-point win. Never mind. But yeah, Colgate doesn't cover by 1 point. UT Rio Grande Valley was up 10 at halftime, and they pushed the plus 5 overall, and they lose the plus 175. Colorado Buffaloes plus 3.5. Colorado Buffaloes plus 140 were winners there. Arizona destroyed UCLA minus 9 was a winner there. UC Irvine Anteaters minus 22.5 was a loser. Arizona State to end the night though plus 9.5 was a winner. Small sprinkle on the money line loser there, but there we go. So kind of split out there, but 4-4-1 up 0.28 units in college basketball. NBA finishes 3-3 up 0.18 units. Started off poorly. Minnesota, Indiana over 228, lands on 224, so it misses by 4 points. Had a chance for overtime there. Miami Heat plus 4.5 and plus 175. They lose by 6, so they didn't cover that number. But the end of the night was strong in the NBA. Over 236 with San Antonio. Sacramento finishes at 260, so that was an easy winner there. And then a nice little winner there, double winner on the Golden State game. We had the Bulls team total over 107.5. We had the full game over 223.5. Bulls went outright 125 to 122. So nice little double winner to end the card there, to end the NBA card there. Overall, 11, 12, and 1, down 0.94 units, which I think means I'm up 8.98 units in the month of March. So, so 59, 33, and 1 in the month of March. Nope, 43, 59 and 43 in March, up 8.98 units. So still off to a decent start in March. I've already moved on one college basketball game and one NHL game. Today I did a free pick video on the NHL game, so we'll be looking over. We'll be going over that in a little bit. But it's not a huge card for me today at the moment, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's get into the game, and let's get into the chats, and then we'll get into the games. Live bet on Kings money line. There you go. Gensel to the Canes. One thing I truly wonder with that is if he's a rental or if he's going to be extended long term, because if he's just a rental, they massively overpaid for him. If he's just going to be a half year type of guy, if he's going to be a long term guy, that was a good deal for Carolina. So, morning, brother. Let's smash this shit today. Just threw my my Fanatics 25% boost on Avs and Reg minus 108. There you go. There you go. Yeah, and the Avalanche were a team I thought were going to make my card, and I haven't pulled the trigger yet. I don't know why. I haven't pulled the trigger quite yet. I had full anticipations on doing it, and then all of a sudden getting cold feet. So we'll see. We'll see there. Warren Nick, what's good? Untouchable. Let's cash Twins. I'm on fire. There you go, Moneyline Mills. How about them T-Wolves? There you go. Capitals money line in the under. Preds money line and puck line in the under. Ovechkin anytime goal. Forsberg anytime goal. All nice cashes. There you go. How about Denver? Yeah. How about them Nuggets? If you guys were watching Nerd Talk last night, I threw together a little D-Gen action, and I cashed a plus 650 in that game. Jokic 25 plus points, 12 plus rebounds, 10 plus assists, and the Nuggets money line at plus 650. All came through. So that was a nice little winner at the end of the night. Kind of made my day a little bit of a winning day. Even though I was down 0.94 units. I was up a little bit in my live betting as well, because I live bet the Oilers plus 2.5. I live bet the over 4.5 in Minnesota, Arizona. I did lose the live bet on Florida minus 105. But it is what it is. So yeah, overall, I mean, that was a nice way to end the night there. That Denver little same gamer that I threw together just for Nerd Talk.
I ended up doing a Nuggets trifecta yesterday. That was nice.
Oh, we have a trade that just went down here. Carolina adding a little bit of center depth. They have given a 2025 third round pick to the Washington Capitals for centerman Evgeny Kuznetsov. Washington will also be retaining 50% of Kuznetsov's contract, which was a pretty decent-sized contract. So Kuznetsov is off the books in Washington now. He is a Carolina Hurricane.
Yeesh. Have fun.
So there's a little trade there that just went down. That Tarleton game was rough. Lost an 8-teamer because of that collapse. Ouch. No Timmy? We got the Timmy.
Yep, sorry. I just got home. So
unbelievable. Gunsel is going to score some huge goals in the playoffs. Absolutely. He's that type of player. Yeah. Byram goal. There you go.
That was the only good thing of last night's game.
Yeah. Jokic triple-double. Doncic double-double. European greatness.
Yep. Europe better than America at basketball.
Sabres have 4 young dominant defensemen now. Yes. And next year, they have the potential of being a wild card team. Next year. Yes.
Now we got 3 years. We suck.
They're still 2 years away from being 2 years away from winning the cup, but still. There we go.
We're forever suffering.
Okay, cool. You've been a fan for how long? 2 years? LOL. Blue Jackets and Flyers money line. Yeah, I mean, I had that Blue Jackets team total, which cashed in the first period. Unfortunately, the full game over did not get there. But yeah, that was a fun little thing there. A little big party in Carolina. We'll see until they run into the Panthers in the playoffs, and we know what's going to happen then. So, thoughts on High Point College basketball? Thinking about laying it.
We only have one play that grades out today, Nick.
Yeah, we see value on Radford if we had to bet anything in that game. So it'd be leaning towards Radford. Hit Caps and Bruins parlay. Yeah, I was unfortunately on the Leafs. So I love fading the Leafs. Bruins puck line never in doubt. Yeah, I need to go. The problem is when I go and fade the Leafs, they're a good team. So I don't. The Leafs are beginning to be that team that's just incredibly frustrating. But we'll get into the hockey card here. We only got 4 games. I've moved on one. I really wanted to move on another, and I think I'm probably going to find a way to back Colorado. I just have to. But we'll get into it here. The Detroit Red Wings are minus 140 total, or with a total of 6.5 here in this spot. Let's get up the line history in this one here. The Red Wings and the Coyotes in this one here, as I'm trying to get this to load. Coyotes on a back-to-back. It was Vejmelka last night, so I'm assuming it's Ingram tonight. So let's see here. Line opened up at a 135. It's down to a 133. So we've had a 2-cent line movement towards Detroit in this game here. And the line opened up at a 6.5 at minus 108. So now 6.5 at minus 109. So a 1-cent line movement towards the over in this game as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one here, where we have this game with 94% of the tickets are on the Red Wings in this one here. And then we have 60% of the tickets are on the over in this spot as well. Only 585 tickets in those. So not much to really go over with cash flow in this game here. I'm interested a little bit in Arizona. Arizona burned me last night, but looking at this spot, I mean, I get it. It's a back-to-back, but my numbers project pretty well with I believe my numbers project pretty well with what do you call it, a net, with Ingram and net. I forgot to put in goalie numbers last night, so I'm quickly doing that right now because it's going to be Ingram and it's going to be Lyon for the Red Wings. It could also be James Reimer, so watch out. But when you look at this Red Wings team, and I said this a couple games ago, this team is going to start to regress. And I'm going to look for ways to bet against the Detroit Red Wings. They lost 5-3 to the Islanders. They lost 4-0 to the Panthers. They lost 7-2 to the Avalanche. Unfortunately, I haven't been on them in either of those games, which is frustrating because I really wanted to fade them in all of those games. And I think I'm going to fade them in this game. I want to bet against the Red Wings here. This is the back-to-back for the Coyotes, and it's a third game in 4 days, which does make me a little bit nervous here. But this is Yotes or nothing. They've kind of dominated the series a little bit as of late. The last 6 games, Arizona's 5-0-1 against the Detroit Red Wings. 3 of the last 4 games have reached overtime. So if you're looking for a draw, this could be one of those where Detroit needs the points. Arizona not as much, but Detroit needs the points here to stay in the playoff picture. So they would have no problem this game going to overtime. Arizona's in the Western Conference. Detroit's in the Eastern Conference. So Detroit can care less about Arizona getting a point in this game. This feels like a draw spot in this game, especially with the Red Wings. The Islanders are breathing down their neck right now. They're breathing down the Lightning's neck and the Red Wings' neck right now. Only 2 points behind are the Islanders, behind both those teams, and they're 4 points behind behind the Flyers with 2 games in hand, and they have 2 games in hand on Tampa as well. So this is you need to get points if you're the Red Wings in this game. Maybe we get a little bit of a desperate Red Wings team coming out here. I lean draw in this game. I lean Arizona. I might pull the trigger on the Yotes. I might. And we saw last week, Freaky Friday is a thing in the NHL where weird shit happens. Which is maybe that's why I'm getting a little bit of cold feet in this Colorado game, because everybody's going to love Colorado today and watch Minnesota win that 1-2-1. But I want to pull the trigger on Arizona here.
I will say I think I like one hockey game today, and I think you've already kind of touched on it. And no, this is not really a game I want to be going after, because I'm not laying a minus price tag or a puck line on the Red Wings right now, especially on the road. And then this is a Coyotes team that just lost to the Wild last night, so they are really down in the dumps right now. Possibly even rock bottom after last night. Just an ugly game where I mean, all right, it said they scored 4. Was this game close at all? Oh, they were winning. Mm-hmm. They were winning at one point, and then 4 straight goals by the Wild. Got it. This is a pass for me. Maybe lean towards the under, but nothing really going for me in this game, Nick.
Yeah, I can see it under in this spot as well.
To the chat, Nick, I'm putting up a couple things up on the site because I didn't do it last night because I was lazy.
Fair enough. Red Wings money line. Yeah. You know what I mean with the Leafs, Nick. Bruins and in the sense of only been the ones to respect my coins when I bet against the Leafs. Fair. No. Just no. I like Payne, like Wile E. Coyote, LOL. Yotes and the under for me. I am so tempted by the Yotes, and I think by the end of this hockey segment, I'm gonna be betting the Arizona Coyotes. Lyon and Ingram would be a pass. If it's Reimer, I'm passing on the total and sprinkling Coyotes reverse puck line. Yeah, because also you got to look ahead, because I believe the Red Wings play tomorrow too. Yeah, they're in Vegas tomorrow. Would it shock you to see them save Lyon for Vegas and put Reimer in today? Or do you start your – I also heard when I was watching –
it doesn't really matter. They need points, so they may start both games.
And here's the one thing I remember I heard last night when watching the end of the Islanders game. Butch Goring was mentioning this. I believe he was the coach for the Islanders for a couple of years. That you want your better goaltender against the weaker team. You want to get the points, especially on a back-to-back. I'm going to move on the Yotes here. I'm going to bet the Yotes. And with this, I'm gonna bet Arizona. If it's Lyon, I'm fine with it. If it's Reimer, I'm thrilled with it. So I'm gonna bet the Yotes here, anticipating that James Reimer is a possibility, and hopefully the Yotes light him up. And if James Reimer is confirmed, I might look at a Yotes team total over as well.
There you go. Sorry.
Lean wings. And then Red Wings power play is nasty. It can be. This. They kind of remind me of the New York Rangers, though. And here's the thing with the Detroit Red Wings, which this started their downfall a little bit the last few games. Their losing streak, not their downfall. Their losing streak the last few games. They're without Dylan Larkin right now, and they will be without him for a few weeks. That's their captain. That's one of their top centers. They've struggled without him. So give me the Yotes at plus 120. Pull the trigger on it. Let's move on. Minnesota Wild and Colorado Avalanche minus 220 with the Avalanche now total 6.5. I feel like if you wanted the Avalanche any type of -1 line, you should have played it last night. Total 6.5 in this game. Take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have Colorado opened up at a 195 on Bet Online. They're now at 209. So we've had a 14-cent line movement towards Colorado in this game. Line opened up at a 6.5 at -108. It's still a 6.5 at -108. So we've had no line movement on this total. We have no cash. We have basically no cash flow on any of these games here. So 80% of the tickets are on the over, but we have no cash flow to represent that. Only 1,600 tickets in. So I've got really nothing to go off of in this game here. I have this game projected for the Avalanche to be -165 favorites. So, but here's the thing with this one. This is a good situational spot, I think. And sometimes I need to learn when to buck my model sometimes. And when it comes to this game, I want the Avalanche. I want the Avalanche. The only problem with this right now is that the line is so wide. I think there's a better option if you want to back Colorado, and this is the way I'm going to do it. It's going to be the team total over 3.5 at minus 130. It's going to be Gustafsson in net. They went with Fleury last night for Gustafsson tonight, who has been bad. He's been giving up goals lately. And when you look at what the Wild have done, I mean, the last couple games they've won, but they played Arizona and San Jose. Good job. You want a cookie. Previous to that, they lost 3 in a row to Nashville, St. Louis, and Carolina. This is a streaky team, but they've played bad teams the last few games. It's a massive step up in competition. And Colorado, their last 4 wins, they've scored at least 4 goals in all of them. They scored at least 5 goals in all of their and 4 of the last 5 games. So offensively, this Avalanche team has been playing really well, and I'll back them here at the team total over at 3.5 at minus 130. I really wanted to back them overall, like a -1 line or something like that, but unfortunately, that would have to be a puck line for me because it would be minus 149 for the money line or for the -1 line. The puck line's plus 115. It's just not enough for me there. Maybe I want to see what this one is here. Maybe this is another way to go. It's the double result. The first period puck line, full game money line. I play sometimes with bigger favorites. However, this is not that big of this actually can pay off pretty well. Maybe first period puck line with the full game money line is plus 146. If you want a little double result on the Colorado Avalanche, I think they jump out early. But the only problem is if you like Minnesota, I'd take them early. Like if you were looking to back Minnesota in this game, take them first period and move on because maybe the chemistry is not 100% there with the Avalanche with the new players they've acquired. I also want to see if this guy's in the starting lineup. But I'm going to look one thing up real quick to see if this guy's in the starting lineup. If he is, I'm going to take a goal scorer prop.
He should be, and I'm eyeing him down.
Oh wow, nope. He is projected to be in the starting lineup, but they have him on the 4th line, which I don't like. No, I'm not looking at Casey Middlestad.
Oh, I was looking at Casey Middlestad.
I was looking at newly acquired Brandon Duhaime.
No,
on the 4th line for the Colorado Avalanche, who was just traded from the Minnesota Wild 2 days ago.
Oh, okay,
Brandon Duhaime scores a goal tonight. If you guys can find a prop on him, Brandon Duhaime anytime goal.
Okay. I like I like Middlestad goal because we see it a lot with trades. First game with teams and they score. I mean, you saw Byram score last night. It was the only good thing that happened last night. How much?
Plus 195 with Middlestad.
Man, you got a bad line because I'm looking on BetStamp and they're showing me anywhere from 320 to 340 with the new team. So I like Casey Middlestad to score a goal. I would lean I got Colorado puck line. I think this is just a overall good spot. You got the Wild coming off here, and I use this a lot, not only in because I get to use this trend in NBA all the time. Second leg of a back-to-back, and the second leg's in Denver. Not a good spot.
Yeah.
That's a very, very difficult spot. That's why the Colorado Avalanche are so good at home. That's why the Nuggets are so good at home. It's why the Rockies are good at home. It's why the Denver Broncos are good at home. The altitude. And on a second line of a back-to-back, it's gonna be a really rough night for Minnesota. I would even take -2.5 with Colorado. It's just a really bad spot for the Wild.
Yeah. Also, if you want to play the former team angle, there's a couple players here that you can look at. By the way, I found plus 325 with Middlestad. I found plus 380 with Brandon Duhaime. The only reason why I was able to find him is I looked under goal scorers under like the game prop page instead of the prop builder because I couldn't find Duhaime on prop builder. So a couple players as well. Plus 325 is Zach Parise against his former team. No. Yep. Here's the thing. I don't have the chat up. I have the games up because I switched over the game, so I did not see that. And then I think there was one other guy that Brandon Duhaime, Zach Parise. I feel like there was one other guy that was a former Wild that they got. Also, if you're looking for the new team, Sean Walker, he's on the third line. Jakob Trenin, Brendan Duhame, and Valiant Nutrition is coming back from injury. So there's a couple players there. So a couple of interesting spots there. Zach Parise. I mean, that's somebody that I would like to bet as well. Zach Parise, Brendan Duhame, and yeah.
Where you go? San Diego State and Dayton. I don't believe we had. We didn't bet anything with that Dayton game. San Diego State actually has our only play in it, and it's Boise. So there you go. Good. You bet the Yotes. I need some steam on the other side going against me.
You're on the Wings.
Over 6.5. Buffalo is the gross play in college basketball. You mean a team that is 2-12 at home, 4-26, and they're a pick'em? I can see that. Abs puck line in the over. Abs puck line. Middlestat anytime goal. McKinnon anytime goal. That's what you got. Get it. Lean Abs puck line in the under. There you go. I love to see. I see some people like the over. There you go. San Diego and Wichita. San Diego. So, which San Diego? San Diego State. I think that's the only one that's playing today. And the under in the Tulane game. I like Tulane. Yeah, I like Tulane. I have to put that up as well. I like Tulane in that game, and I'm going to put up Buffalo. Zach Parise. Earle's on props. Now we're cooking. Wild plus 180. No. Forgot Parise is on their team. Oh, he's old.
He's been hot lately, though. Like, he's been scoring goals lately. I'm gonna throw a small bet on.
How about a minus 310 on the favorite on the road, Nick?
Yeah. We have the Anaheim Ducks and the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars minus 310 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. And here's the crazy part is this line's probably correct with who. Hear me out on this one. With who the Anaheim Ducks have in their starting lineup. Now, the other night, I bet the Ducks against the Senators, and I hated that bet when I found out everybody else. I honestly did. This line opened up at a 262. It's up to a 307 now. So we've had a big line movement here towards Dallas in this game. And then we had this line open up at a 6.5 minus 104. It's now a 6.5 at plus 103. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards Dallas, a big line movement towards Dallas. 75% of tickets are on Dallas. I'm not even going to look at cash flow because there's less than 1,000 tickets on both these games and no cash numbers, just ticket numbers. So the hell with that. And looking at this game, I mean, if you want to lay a puck line, if you want to lay that type of juice, minus 120 on a road puck line, be my guess. I'm not going to ever say that's a good idea. Laying juice on a puck line on the road. I lean over the total in this game at 6. This is just a weird spot where I don't trust Anaheim anymore. Not that I've trusted them at all this year, but with all the trades that they've made, with all the injuries that they have, it's not a good thing when your top line is Ryan Strome, Frank Petrano, and Brett Leeson. Your second line is Lindstrom, Killorn, and Jones.
Who?
Like, you have Silverberg on your third line with Grolix and Regenda, and then you have Gaudin with Lindstrom and Johnston.
These sound made up.
Ross Johnston, I like Ross Johnston. He was an Islander. He was a goon. He liked to fight. But this Anaheim Ducks team is terrible right now. Like, they are tore down to the bones because they traded Henrique, they traded Carrick. Zegers is on the IR. McTavish is out. Carlson's out. Terry is out. They got a lot of prospects. They got a decent future. Now is not the time to be backing them. Pretty plain and simple. And I have no interest in this game whatsoever at all. Am I laying this stupid number with the Stars on the road? No. Maybe if you want to get involved with the Stars, let's take a look what this number is real quick. And minus 112. Stars Avalanche 2-teamer, like that's the only way you can potentially get involved, but I'm not going to advocate for parlays at all, especially on Freaky Friday. Not going to happen. So that means that the Ducks win this game because it's Freaky Friday. Maybe a draw in this game because we know how the Dallas Stars love playing down to their competition. This was a team that just went to overtime, not once, but twice against the San Jose Sharks in back-to-back games. So would it shock me to see this game need more than 60 minutes? Absolutely not. Let's take a look here what the regulation draw is here. I'm seeing draw at plus. Where's the draw? Game props. There we go. Plus 390 for the regulation draw in this one here. Would not shock me at all to see a regulation draw in this spot. Lean that way. But pass.
Want nothing to do with a game that is minus 310 on the road. And I'm not touching the Ducks right now. So no real interest. I think I only like one play in hockey. That's it. And it's the Avalanche.
Heck yeah. I'm fine. Yeah.
But and by the way, Untouchable. I know I see I saw your I was scrolling through the college basketball card on coverage just to check, and then I saw San Diego is playing Pepperdine. So yeah, I took San Diego with you. Plus 115 money line after Pepperdine won by what, a million last night? Morning. Thoughts on Radford versus High Point early 12 p.m. Eastern college hoops. High Point are 12-point favorites and beat Radford twice this year. I think it's a lean towards Radford, wasn't it, Nick?
Yes.
Might want to get a little bit of afternoon action. Isn't enough? No, it wasn't anywhere close to enough for us to. If it was in the twos, maybe I would have looked at it. We got 1.32 points of value on Radford, so not enough for us to want to go after it. Although I would love to bet a noon game.
Yeah.
We love Stars money line after that amazing comeback by the Ducks puck line cover. Ducks plus 250. Dude, and you know what?
Go for it. Like, I'm not going to talk people off of plus 250,
Nick,
plus 265 on Bovada if you shop around.
You're wearing a Ducks jersey.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Mighty Ducks today. No, I didn't bet them, though.
Coffee bet on Yotes and Ducks for fun. There you go. The West is so bad. The Oilers are going to get to the finals for sure. No.
Nope, that's called the Colorado Avalanche. By the way,
Vegas.
To touch on Untouchable's comment there with the Ducks and Yotes, if you want to put them together, it's plus 703.
I thought you were going to play some type of clip. All right. The Oilers are going to get a goalie at the deadline. Well, they don't have much time.
I don't think so. Northern
Iowa. Why is Belmont a pick'em? Let's go look. No, it should be that's about right. Because you got to keep in mind these are in neutral spots. These are in neutral games. So Belmont's a slight favorite. I think that's right. That's why we don't really find much value in most of these conference tournaments right now. Is they're on neutrals and they're a lot more sharper now. But we'll end up finding plays. One more hockey game for you, Nick.
And finding plays. This is the one I did a free pick video for last night. We have the Seattle Kraken, Winnipeg Jets. If you feel like you just saw this matchup, you did.
Yeah.
You saw this game a couple days ago. And usually I would be like, oh, yeah, these two teams just played. It was 4-3 Seattle, so Winnipeg has to win this game, right?
No.
Wrong. When you look at look at the numbers that Winnipeg has put up as of late, they've been getting outplayed in a lot of their games, and they are rightful losers. And Seattle's actually been outplaying their opponents, and they've been playing good hockey as of late. My numbers have the wrong team favored in this game. So I got the Kraken at plus 105 here in this spot. Let's get into the line history in this one here, where it opened up at a 125. It's down to a 124. So we've had a 1 cent line movement towards the Kraken. Line opened up at a 5.5 at minus 115 to 5.5 at minus 108 now. And like always, we have no cash flow to really go off of in this game. 88% of the tickets are on the Jets, but the line's moved a penny towards the Kraken, which is interesting here. I'm on the Kraken in this spot at plus 105. This Kraken team has been playing much better as of late. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. Their only loss was against the Edmonton Oilers, which is not a bad loss, but that game was at the end of a long homestand. And now they've hit the road and they beat Calgary and Winnipeg. And now they come back home and play Winnipeg again. This is a third. Oh, no, it's not third game in 4 days because they've had 2 days off since then. Winnipeg had their 2-game winning streak snapped against the Kraken in their last game. They beat the Hurricanes 5-3. They beat the Sabres 5-2 before they lost 4-2 to the Kraken. This has been a team that's playing a little bit more overs as of late, Winnipeg. And defensively, they've not been very good. And if it isn't for their goaltender, which it could be Laurent Brossoit today, it might not be. What do you call it? Might not be Hellebuck. And if it's Brossoit, I think I might be interested in a little bit of an over in this game as well. Because that could be a little. Now, obviously, Brossoit is a perfectly okay backup, 100%. I like the Kraken even more with Brossoit over Hellebuck when Hellebuck's the other option, because when you look tomorrow, I believe the Jets play, and they could be saving Hellebuck for tomorrow when they play the Canucks and give a Hellebuck Demko matchup for tomorrow. Some interesting matchups for tomorrow, including a 12:30 game between Buffalo and Edmonton. But
that's not an interesting matchup. It's going to be a blowout.
I know. I think the Sabres are to be faded, but that's beyond the point. But yeah, no, I'm on the Kraken for this one here. So to wrap up today's hockey card, we are running with
Release the Kraken.
Good luck to you. Kraken money line. I'll take the over. The Jets have annoyed me on totals past few games. I wouldn't be surprised if they go under. Who won the trade deadline? It's not over yet.
Colorado Avalanche.
Leaning over in Jets. The Jets really good on defense. Ducks, Wild, Kraken, Parlay, 1909. It's going to suck when the Wild lose and you lose that parlay. Let's head to the NBA, and we get to start off with the best NBA game on the card, Nick.
Yeah, and when I saw this game, by the way, we have a little bit of hockey news real quick. Jordan Eberle from the Kraken, 2-year extension, $4.75 million per year. Maybe an Eberle anytime goal prop there
Under points
for tonight after the extension. But I saw this game this morning, and I was really looking forward to being able to say this on air today. The Washington Wizards are favorites. They're -2 at home against the Charlotte Hornets, total of 226 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have the Washington Wizards. They did open up yesterday at -4. And it's come all the way down to a -2. So we've had a movement towards Charlotte, which doesn't surprise me, people seeing Washington at home, or Washington as a favorite and betting against them. I think that's pretty plain and simple why the line's moved the way it has.
Yep.
Line opened up at a 226. It's down to a 225.5. Let's switch my what do you call it, to NBA. As we have 84% of the tickets and 98% of the cash is on the Charlotte Hornets in this game. In that spot, 64% of the tickets, 89% of cash on their money line. So a very public road dog these Charlotte Hornets are. 75% of the tickets and 50% of the cash on the under. The line moved a half a point towards the under in this game. I have the Hornets, I have the Wizards as 2.5-point favorites, but I would like to back the Washington Wizards in this game. That sounds stupid, but when you look at this team. They have lost how many in a row? The Washington Wizards?
They have not won a game since January.
They have not won a game since January, and they're favorites at 9-53. I would like to move on the Washington Wizards in this game at -135.
All right, good. We're on the same page. Washington is one of my 3 plays today. And this one's just a absolutely disgusting, poop-filled play because as you mentioned, this team is 3-26 at home, and you're taking them not only to win, but to win by 2 points. And I know that's terrifying to some people, but I'm doing it here. I just think that this is a awful Hornets team as well. Both teams are tanking. But this is a play on the Wizards for me. They're favorites for a reason.
Okay.
4 new players in the Avs lineup. Chemistry won't be good.
We'll see.
We'll see how it
Also,
goes.
the Wild on a back-to-back in the
Colorado.
altitude.
Yeah, that's just a bad spot for them.
If you like the Minnesota Wild, I will say this. If you like the Minnesota Wild, bet them in the first period. Do not bet them full game, because I think they could be up 2-1 at the end of the first period or 1-0 at the end of the first period and lose this game 5-3. I think as the game goes along, the Avalanche gets stronger. And if you like the Wild, you take them first period.
There you go. 1-800 Toilet Bowl. Like the Wizards, I don't know if I could back them full game. What's that number again? Oh, yeah, 1-800 Gambler.
Oh, yeah, my bad. We did not do our due justice for this game.
Stop it. Get some help.
Nope. Hold on. There we go. Much better. Much better. What you guys think about the over? Even though it dropped 1 point, it was at 226 last night. I have no real feelings on the total in this game.
Let's see. I have this game projected around 233-ish. So I actually have a lean towards the over in this game as well.
Basketball season is winding down. That it is. I'm looking for Kansas State and Nova tomorrow. You're already looking towards tomorrow. I respect that. Let's look. I can't type. Villanova is at home versus Creighton. I could only imagine that line's probably going to be what? Creighton -2? -2.5? Yeah, I'll be on I'll be on Nova. And you like Kansas State versus Iowa State. Yeah, I could probably jump on that one with you. That sounds good to me. Jordan Poole double-double. Have fun. Let's start looking at teams that will actually be competitive this year.
Yeah, and this line really threw me off because my number is way off for this game probably. But let's get into it here with the Philadelphia 76ers and the New Orleans Pelicans. Pelicans are 8-point favorites. It's actually down to a 7.5 now. I'm seeing on BetOnline. Total 222.5. Line opened up at a 7.5, got up to an 8.5, back down to a 7.5. Line opened up at a 223.5, down to a 221.5. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had to move towards the. We've had no move on the side. It originally went towards the Pelicans here. 62% of the tickets, 99% of the cash is on the Pelicans in this spot, but 17% of the tickets, 82% of the cash on the money line for this for the Sixers. 57% of the tickets are on the under. The line moving towards the under. I have this game projected closer towards a pick'em, so I'm assuming there is injuries we need to worry about because I do not think the Sixers should be this big of dogs at home in this spot. And I would like to know what's going on with this game and why it is the number the way it is. Because I would like to back the Sixers here at +7.5. I think this is too many points, and probably this is just an overreaction to some injuries, is my guess.
Yeah, no Tyrese Maxey for the Sixers tonight. Along with no Covington and no DeAndre Melton, but they're not as big. Maxey's out for tonight. That's the big name. Concussion. So yeah, no Maxey. That's why the spread's this crazy. And I'm staying away from this game. No real reason for me to go after this one. Good luck to anybody who does bet it. I'm not laying 8 points on the road. And I'm not touching a although could be a good fade the injury report type of spot, but not enough for me to want to go after it.
It's just Tyrese Maxey?
Maxey, I mean, Embiid's still out. So this team, because Maxey's the big name without Embiid out now. So that's kind of your second biggest scorer now out. So kind of a rough spot there.
I'll think about it. I can only look Sixers in this game.
Cavs and Bucks are the only things I really have. Yep, I'm on the same page as you, Untouchable. And speaking of the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pick 'em. -1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Total 207 in this game. Feels like a very low total there for this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have the Timberwolves opened up as 1.5-point favorites. They're now 1.5-point dogs. So this line's crossed through 0 in this spot. Line opened up at a 210.5. It's dropped 3 points to a 207.5. So we've had to move towards the under, and we've had to move towards Cleveland in this spot here. I have Cleveland as a half-point favorite in this game. So I think this line moves correct with the way the lines moved here. 80% of the tickets are on the under, which explains the line move down. And then 43% of the tickets, 89% of the cash is on the Cavaliers spread, and 37% of the tickets, and 76% of the cash on the money line. So the sharp money is on the Cavaliers in this game, which makes sense. The lines moved in their direction. So the markets are saying this is a Cav spot. And I think this line's correct when it comes to that. And I have this game projected around 212.5, 213 range. So I'm kind of interested in this over 207. And actually, that's what I'm going to move on here in this spot is the over. And also, one play I forgot to mention earlier, I think I was going to add, was, yes, at 226, I'm adding the over in the toilet bowl as well. Washington, Charlotte over 226 as well.
Sounds good. I want the Cavaliers in this one. It is a second leg of a back-to-back for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are coming off of a nice win versus the Pacers. And I knew that my Pacer bet was kind of dead when I got the Karl-Anthony Towns news. Now, first game without the star player, that's when you're supposed to back them. Okay, next game, now I start to feel this is where Minnesota starts to feel a little bit of the hurt of not having Karl-Anthony Towns against a very physical Cleveland Cavaliers team. I think it's a rough spot for the Cavs here. For the Timberwolves here. I'm going to be grabbing Cleveland. I got their money line. I believe I got it at minus 108. So I'm on Cleveland in this one, Nick.
Yeah. I'm on the over. I also was just looking at my numbers, and I forgot to add over 221.5 Philly and New Orleans. Without Embiid, this Sixers team has become more of an over team as well. So I know you're thinking with they're more of an under team, but I mean they play faster pace without Embiid. They play more of a smaller lineup, and they play more of a faster pace without Embiid, and that's why this team is more of an over team without Embiid. So yeah, I'm on the over in that game as well.
There you go. Avs and Cavs fade Minnesota. Yes. Cavs minus 2.5. I'm up in the points. Yes, I would do that as well. Correct. Let's head to this game, Nick.
Yeah, this is a game I had circled as well that I would like to play, and I know I've bet basically every game so far, but for whatever reason today, I'm seeing decent value in the NBA, which feels gross. But let's get into it here. The New York Knicks taking on the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Oh, total is 206.5 with the Magic as 1-point favorites in this game. Taking a look at the line history in this spot here, it's a 1.5 now that I'm seeing on Bet Online. It opened up minus 2, got down to a pick 'em, and it's now back up to a minus 1.5. So interesting line movement there. Line opened up at a 207.5 down to a 205.5. They have this game priced like it's an NBA Finals game. Geez, 205.5. 60% of the tickets, 70% of the cash on the under. Makes sense that the line's moving in that direction. And then we have 29% of the tickets and 46% of the cash is on the Knicks. So we have a little bit of a public road team here with the Orlando Magic in this spot, which everything's starting to correlate for a play for me in this game. I have this game projected around 213. So once again, I see value on an under, or on an over, but the market's kind of pointing the opposite direction there. And I have the wrong team favorite in this spot. I have the Knicks as about a 2.5, 3-point favorite in this game. I think the Knicks are undervalued in this spot. And when you look at this game, we have the Knicks have come in kind of struggling as of late. They have lost 7 of their last 10 games. They're 2-8, and they're only a pick 'em. I get it; they're at home, but they're coming in off of a bad 16-point loss against Atlanta. We have Orlando coming in on 5 straight wins and 8 of their last 9, and they're only a pick 'em. Give me the Knicks in this spot. I'll take New York here at even money.
It was a look towards the Knicks, but I end up not taking that one. I just don't trust this Knicks team right now. I know you're high on them. I was not as high on them coming into this year. This is just for me, it's Magic or nothing. But they've been my covering darling for a while. And I've made some nice money on the Orlando Magic. I just don't trust the Knicks right now in order to try to go after this one. So once again, this is another pass. I've already given out 2 of my 3 plays. My final play is in the last game we talk about. So
fair enough.
The Orlando Magic. Pass, but I dig the Magic theme song.
Yeah.
There you go. This one's a gross game.
Yeah, it is. We have the Memphis Grizzlies hosting the Atlanta Hawks. We have the Hawks as 3-point road favorites in this game with a total of 215. This is a disgusting matchup too. 2 teams have not been very good. This line is down to a 2 now for Atlanta. Let's take a look here. This line opened up at a 4. It's down to a 2, so we've had to move towards Memphis in this game. Line opened up at a 212.5, and this one actually has moved up to 216. So we've had a movement towards the over, and we've had a movement towards the Grizzlies in this spot here with 52% of tickets, 86% of the cash on the Hawks, and the line moving towards Memphis is kind of interesting there. 75% of the tickets, 67% of the cash on the under. The line moving towards the over here in this spot. Kind of interesting there as well. I have this game projected in the 220s, high 220s in this spot here. So this looks like a nice little over spot, even with the line moving up. It's up to a 215.5 now. So this line has moved up, and I think rightfully so it's moved up. And I had this game closer towards the pick'em, so I see value here with the Grizzlies, but not at 2. I will take some over 215.5 though in this game.
Man, if it wasn't for the Charlotte-Washington game, we would have our 1-800 gambler game of the day. No, this is just a weird game. 2 teams that are well, I can't say the Hawks are completely out of it. No, they're 5.5. No, sorry, they're in the 10 seed. They're 3.5 games up on Brooklyn for the 10. They're 2.5 games back of the Bulls for the 9. This is a bad team. Let's be honest. And the Grizzlies are nowhere near. Wow, we actually have our first eliminated team of the in the NBA already. Mathematically, the San Antonio Spurs are eliminated from playoff contention.
Wow.
Which makes sense because unlike the Western Conference, or unlike the Eastern Conference, all the teams in the West that are in the play-ins are over 500. Guaranteed if the Eastern Conference was better, Washington and Detroit would have been already done. And by the way, Washington's now the worst team in the NBA. This is a pass spot for me, but sorry, I was looking at the standings to try to figure out where some of these teams are. Because I look at the standings every couple of days just to see where some teams are at, where they're fighting for seedings and stuff. So definitely interesting to look at later on in the year.
Yep.
Let's keep rolling, Nick. No chat. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, 9-point favorites in this game with a total of 224.5 in the spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have this line opened up at 7. It's up to an 8.5, so it's moved up to 1.5 points, and its line's gone from a 226.5 down to a 224, so down 2.5 points. Here, 83% of the tickets are on the under, which explains the line movement towards the under, and then 54% of the cash is on the Heat. Which does not explain the no cash flow in this game as well. 31% or 88% of tickets, 69% cash on the money line for the Thunder. Heat coming in on a back-to-back. They were in Dallas last night. They lost and did not cover. Thanks for nothing, Miami. But I project some value here of Miami. But do I want to back them on a back-to-back? No. Pretty plain and simple no there. And then for this game, I actually have this game projected pretty spot on at 224.5. So pass for me in this game. No interest.
Yeah, I also kind of stayed away from this game. I'm not laying 9 points on the Thunder, although the Thunder have proved that they can cover spreads, especially big spreads. So they have that at least. But I'm not laying that. And the Miami Heat are on a second leg of a back-to-back. Not a good spot for a Miami Heat team that I don't really trust that way, because this is a Miami team that's a little bit older. So back-to-backs are going to be a little bit tougher for them. So this is going to be a pass for me as well. No real interest in going after this game. Bucks money line -105. There you go. I got it a little bit juicier, so whatever. Magic money line. It was close to a play for the Magic. I know Nick's on the Knicks, but it was close to a Magic play for me. 2 games left, Nick.
Yeah, we had the Portland Trailblazers and the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets team for me that's been pretty predictable this year. That I've enjoyed betting because they've been pretty simple. You bet them on the road, you bet them at home, you fade them on the road. And maybe this is one of those spots where we fade them on the road. Let's take a look at the line history here in this game where we have the Blazers. Oop, I clicked the wrong one there. Come on, click. Nope. Yep, there we go. Line opened up at a 4. It's up to a 6. So we've had a 2-point line movement towards the Rockets in this game. Line opened up at a 217. It's up to a 218.5. So we have a move towards the over, and we have a move towards the Rockets in this one here. 52% of the tickets are on the Rockets. No cash flow. Lines move 2 points towards the Rockets. 50-50 split on the total. I have this game projected for the Rockets to be 3-point road favorites. I don't like the way the lines moved in this game, in this spot, for me to want to back Portland. Kind of makes me a little bit nervous. Portland's won 4 straight games against Houston as well, and 7 of the last 9. So they've kind of had Houston's number a little bit here. They're on back-to-back losses, the Portland Trailblazers. They've covered in 4 straight, though, the Blazers. They were 13.5-point dogs against OKC. They lose by 8. They were 15-point dogs in Minnesota. They lose by 5. They were 2-point dogs and 1-point dogs against Memphis, and they went outright both those games. So they've won and they've covered 4 straight games, 2-2 straight up during that time. I have no faith in the Rockets on the road, who are 6-24. Good luck if you want to back them at -6 on the road. It would be Blazers or nothing for me, but they're 9-21 at home this year, so it's a pass for me.
Well, the Blazers just suck to begin with, but no, there's 0 chance I'm laying points on the Rockets on the road. Doesn't happen. And do I trust Portland enough or want to actually bet this game? No. And I know I mentioned it a lot. One problem with me last year, I still had a decent year, but it could have been a lot better if I limited myself. And I've been limiting myself this year, and it's been a lot better. Like last year, I would be looking towards Philly, on Orlando, looking towards Memphis, maybe on the under in my, like, I would be on Port. Like, if it was last year, I would be trying to tag up every single game. I'm not doing it this year. And it's been a lot better just being able to follow a couple games a night. And this is not a game that I wanted to get involved in. Both these 2 teams are out of, well, they're not out of playoff contention, but Portland is next up to get eliminated, most likely. Them or, the 2 teams from the East. And Houston they're 6 games back of the Lakers. And the thing is, the Lakers aren't losing home games. So they're, so it's going to be difficult for them to try to catch up to the Lakers. Both these 2 teams are essentially done for the year. So this one's a stay away from me.
Fair enough. Do have a little bit of hockey breaking news real quick because this is trade deadline, so keep that in mind today.
Okay.
The Winnipeg Jets have acquired a winger. New Jersey Devils winger Tyler Toffoli will be heading to Winnipeg.
All right, so the Devils are selling.
Are they? Or are they clearing cap space?
What's the difference?
Fair.
Another 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes. No, because we got one more game. Blazers and Wizards, that's my 2-team degenerate parlay. I like it. What a day to be a Canes fan. There you go. And I have Canes 950 to win the cup. So, final matchup, Nick, and I do have a play in this game.
Yeah, we have the Bucks and the Lakers. The Bucks 2-point road favorites up to, I'm seeing 2.5s now for the Bucks. Line opened up with them as a dog at +1. Now it's -2.5. So we'll move towards Milwaukee in this game. Line opened up at a 234.5. It's down to a 232. So we've had to move towards the under here as well. We have 89% of the tickets and 97% of the cash is on the Bucks, and the lines moved from +1 to -2.5 for the Bucks. So a 3.5-point line movement towards them. 65% of the tickets and 72% of the cash on the under. Lines move towards the under in this spot here. I have the Bucks projected as 1.5-point favorites, so I thought this line move is correct, that they should be favorites in this game and not dogs. and I have this game projected at around 240. So, but the markets are telling me that this under is probably the market's saying unders. My numbers are saying overs. So it's enough for me to stay off this game in general. So pass to end the card for me.
What was the last thing we saw from the Milwaukee Bucks? 125-90 loss to the Warriors. I think this is a bounce back spot. Because bounce back spots are for good teams, and the Bucks are one of the best teams in the league. They're the number 2 team in the East at the moment, and I think there's a good spot for them to bounce back. I know it's the Lakers, and I know it's the Lakers at home that have been really solid at home, 23-11 at home, but I've got to trust the Bucks to bounce back here after that ugly game in their last one versus the Warriors. Give me Milwaukee. I got their money line. Nick, you're going to be happy. I got their money line minus 126 instead of laying the 2 points. So there you go.
Nice.
I'm on the Bucks in this one.
There you go. I agree with that thought process of when you want.
Although I feel like the points aren't going to matter, but
at the same time, I rather have the peace of mind of knowing that they just have to win.
There you go. But that is all the games. We get a yo from Mr. Joe Crypto Knight. So there you go. But that's going to do it for all the games. We'll do a little bit of recapping and everything before we head on out. If you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Appreciate all support. Check out all the links in the description below. YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. All of them linked down. Make sure you guys are following us all over there. I'm late. All good. College baseball, UNC. Who does UNC? I didn't even look at college baseball today.
It's Trey Savage Day, by the way. So they're minus 2.5. I laid the 250.
That's fine. Who does UNC get? Let's look them up. UNC is home versus 8-1 Pittsburgh. I could be inclined to take a little bit of Panther action. Ooh. That's the series of the weekend. Number 12, Duke, heads to number 1, Wake Forest. Wow, that's going to be a great series. Holy crap. Give me Wake Forest every game. But that is everything for this one. Recap time, Nick. The only play in the NHL that I like is the Avalanche on the puck line. And then I like Washington, Cleveland, and Milwaukee.
Fair enough. Yeah. In the NHL, we're kicking off the car with a little ow. Arizona Coyotes plus 120. Going to the Avalanche, team total over 3.5 at minus 130. And the Kraken, release the Kraken at plus 105. And for the NBA, got the New Orleans Pelicans and the Philadelphia 76ers over the total of 221.5. We're on the Washington Wizards money line at $1.35 and the over 226 in that game as well. Now I'm thinking about it, probably the team total over full game over probably would have been a better play than relying on the Wizards to win a basketball game, but that's beyond the point. New York Knicks money line at even money. Minnesota Cleveland over 207 and Atlanta Memphis over 215.5 for me.
There you go. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll be back tomorrow with another one. Good luck, guys.